kind of gives the effect of where the thorn stuck in. So you can kind of see where the old red was, but we're just going to follow in. We'll put some new lines in there to give it a little different look. Just take some of that red and follow it around. Wipe it off. So wherever one of the little thorns stuck in, we'll run a little bit of blood off of that and give it that look. And that's about all we're going to do with the red. Now we're going to clean it out. I'm going to put the brown highlights in the hair. I'm using kind of a rust-colored brown for this. And I'm not going to color it real solid. What you want to do is just get enough highlights in there to give a look of some color. Actually, when you got some of these old tattoos, some of that old ink on the bottom will kind of give it a nice look when you leave some of it in there. It'll make shadowy looking stuff around the colors that you added in, and that's something you can't reproduce. It just comes from an old tattoo, so if you take advantage of what's there, you can wind up with a nice looking piece when it's finished. This brown will just bring out the hair a lot more. So just in between all these little things, I'm just kind of going to sweep in a little bit of brown. You gotta remember, you don't want to color everything solid again. You don't want to get that coloring book look. Okay, so just keep going through the whole tattoo and color in, get all that brown in there. Just like anything else, you're going to work with the darkest colors first. This is probably not the original color that it had. The inks are different, but it'll give it a whole new look anyway, so you can kind of use your own judgment on there. You can see I'm not coloring it real solid. I'll start dark in one spot and then just kind of lift the color out so it's just nice and soft at the end. You'll see on some old tattoos, some of these spots you may have to color them solid, depending on how bad it looks, or if it's too dark and you want to lighten up and you're putting a lighter color over something, you might want to color it in solid. But this particular piece here doesn't. I want that shadowed look on this beard and on the hair, so I'm kind of making use of what's there. It's going to give it a nice look when it's finished. spray it off and you get a look at what that brown looks like now in it. So that brought a nice look. It kind of brought the face out a little bit more. We're going to clean up the machine and then we'll do the next color. We're going to probably put in, the orange is going to be the next amount of color to put in, so we'll put that in next. So we got it all wiped off, put a little more Vaseline on it, we'll start putting in the orange. This we're going to put in a little heavier around the face. This is a real thick pigment orange. And then we're going to add yellow to the end of that starburst around the head, the halo. So just take that orange and bring it out. I know you won't be doing the exact tattoo, but a lot of this stuff will show you how to blend the colors even in these old tattoos. We don't have to worry about what color was there before. You know, I don't know how far out this orange actually went, and it doesn't really matter because I'm going to bring it out to where I like it now. So when you're doing an old restoration of a tattoo, you can just kind of, it's basically using your artistic ability and your best judgment on colors and what do you think is going to make them stand out. So just go through these, your old tattoo, you know, and just kind of pick and choose what colors were still good in it and which ones need to be changed. We were talking about this one where the cloak was white. I think now we're going to add some, you'll see when we get to that, we're going to add some purple highlights into it instead of just making it white like it used to be. You know, today there's a lot more colors to choose from than they had years ago, especially like this is 22 years old, so you can kind of add a whole new look to it just because the colors will be different. This particular tattoo, the orange in it was still pretty good, but this newer orange is going to be a lot more intense, so you know, look through your colors when you're doing a piece and kind of search for new ideas. It doesn't have to be exactly the way it used to be. That's what makes restoring an old one kind of nice. You can change the whole look of it just by adding some new colors in. And that's pretty much it for the orange. Let me wipe this off and you can see that. And then we'll switch to the next color. Much brighter, much more intense now. Starts to bring out the picture. Next I'm going to put in, I think I'm going to do the green in the crown of thorns. We're going to put some new green in there. And again, the old green that they used on that particular tattoo was a little more subdued than what we're going to do now. We're going to put in a brighter green in it so it stands out. Clean up the machine here and we'll be ready to put it in. I always put a little bit of Vaseline over what I did. I keep doing that so the ink doesn't smear around a whole lot. And on these vines, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to color the bottom. I'm going to kind of follow the bottom of them, because I am going to put some yellow highlights in them. It'll give it a nice look. It'll brighten it up a little bit.